Hello everybody and welcome to the Mr. Shades show. As you can see, we're going to be playing some more Batman Arkham Knight. But that doesn't mean we're going to be playing anything special, because we're going on another Mr. Shades rant. Bat-Rant, if you will. Yeah, fuck it, we'll call them Bat-Rants, because that's what these videos usually fucking are. Me just fucking ranting my face off about Batman and or DC or something. Anyway, today's episode is going to be about Suicide Squad, the extended cut of Suicide Squad. I just watched it today. I said, you know what, this is fully deserving of a Mr. Shades style rant. We're gonna level up here. Anyway, so I watched it and I heard what the critics had to say, and I was just kind of like, okay, that's kind of interesting in a way, I suppose. But like, why did it? Like, why would some of the stuff? The question is just, why do I have to deal with some of this crap? Like, why is this happening? The, at this point, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna call out some spoilers. Some of the problems I had was, why did Harley Harley walked away, tried to walk away with the Joker, right? But like, what happened was, uh, Flag could have the bombs were disabled, but the bombs weren't, or Harley's bomb was disabled, and then for some reason they didn't. She started walking away slowly. Rick could have shot her easily, like just super fucking easily, but didn't when she was just walking away, and they tried to make Deadshot do it, and then they made him take his miss there instead of something a little more epic. So that was a thing, and then I also don't agree with how just the way they portrayed the Joker was really weird for me compared to others. I know it's supposed to be always try and be different and be your own thing, but like he didn't even appear to be like one of the characters or like even look like the Joker. Like if I didn't know who the Joker was and you told me like that, like the joke that was the Joker, I don't know, like I don't feel like I'd be as scared of him as I would be if I watched Heath Ledger's Joker for the first time, or if I would have been so interested in his character as I did with Jack Nicholson. And I don't know, like you, like that. It just he didn't seem very interesting and very compelling as a character. Mainly because they kind of changed something. It's almost kind of like, uh, well, it's kind of canon, but it's never really been talked about explicitly or like absolutely stated. It's just kind of been told through stories. The only person that Batman or Joker really cares about, it's not Harley. He doesn't love Harley. He just sees her as like a fun little sidekick thing to kind of match up with Robin. The only person he really cares about is Batman. He only cares about messing with Batman and trying to show him the error of like the order, like the chaos to his order. That's how that works. But then the movie kind of changed it. That Joker was just in love with Harley, and I just can't get behind that as and be so invested. That's just because I'm so used to the Joker, the way he deals with Harley is that if he gets captured, he'll try and sell out Harley to get time off his sentence. Or something like that, right? That sounds like something Joker would do. Or like, if he's about to be he and Harley are about to be captured, he'll feed Harley to the police and Batman just so he can get away. That's how the whole Harley Joker relationship is supposed to go. So the way they kind of portrayed it in Suicide Squad was a little different and a little. It was just didn't seem as interesting to me here, because I was just so used to the other continuity, but like the other way it's done. So we'll see how that kind of plays out. And the extended cut, as from like I've never saw the original theatrical cut, so I don't know what it was like, but for me it felt like it kind of didn't really add much, not as much as advertised. Like it promised more Joker, and I kind of did a little bit of research and dug in and found out that there was only like one or two more scenes from the show or from like the trailers and stuff that they added. They still haven't cut in or some of the actual footage shown in the trailers, like Joker with the grenade or something like that. They didn't show that yet. So there's still a lot of Joker footage that they just left hanging for some reason. And what the hell? Oh, I called the Batmobile, but like it just didn't make sense to me. So don't bother with the don't bother with the extended cut. It didn't really add too much as far as I know. So that's about all I'm gonna say about the extended cut. Not that Suicide Squad wasn't as bad as like the critics were saying, but it wasn't as good as some of the fans say. So like you kind of have, it's one of those things where you kind of have to watch it for yourself and formulate your own opinion now. And that's the kind of thing that I did before I did this rant here. So I know I'm just kind of talking now, but like it's just weird seeing some of these characters. Like it was cool seeing a lot of the characters like Killer Croc and Katana and Rick Flag actually finally come to the big screen. But it also just feels like they're overshadowed by some of the other, like Harley and Deadshot. Like I can understand that because they're supposed to be the faces of the film because they just couldn't sell it on somewhat obscure characters, so they had to use had to have some star power behind those bits. But it just kind of hurts the rest of the cast that you don't really get to experience much or see much of them. The rest of the cast doesn't really get to do anything throughout the film. Like some of the characters are just there to kind of fill and like kind of crowd pander a little bit, but you can tell they don't really want those characters in there. Like the Suicide Squad was pretty much only Harley, Deadshot, and El Diablo. The rest are all pretty much forgettable. Which kind of is sad because this is like an ensemble film, so it kind of just fails in that way. Whereas instead of like in the Avengers films, Hawkeye and Black Widow kind of shared that spot, but it's gotten better now. Here in the Avengers, like in the first Avengers film, everybody kind of got the same thing. So fans of Thor could see Thor, fans of Captain America could see Captain America. You know, here it's just like, oh, you like Killer Croc? Well, here's his 2 bits and that's that, or like a bit, or a scene, or a line, or something. That's all you get. So it's just kind of like, well, that kind of sucks for me. So the rest of the cast just feels overshadowed by some of the rest of the characters in this film. Not to say that it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. It could have been a lot better. You could tell the reshooting of it really messed with it and kind of jimmied its jams and just kind of hurt the film more than anything. So that was almost everything I had to say about anything that I could say about Suicide Squad. That it has its moments, but it's not strong enough as a film. I still prefer, if you're going to spend money on the extended cut, get the Batman vs. Superman extended cut, because it actually makes the film better, whereas this, it just kind of fills for time and doesn't really add anything too crazy to the story. It doesn't explain anything. So that's kind of a problem that I had buying it, and ended up watching it and only to be kind of disappointed. So yeah, that was all about Suicide Squad. And the film, I won't try and spoil it too much, but I gave away some of the things. There's just, the story itself is kind of not that bad, but it's also not great. It's just kind of like ragtag team of heroes or villains get together and save the world. It's just like every other team movie, really. Like Avengers, they're ragtag and then they save the world. It's just like kind of the same film, but not like in a good way or in a bad way either. The Suicide Squad just kind of took the same basic idea and tried to make it different while not making it different enough to bother. So it kind of shines through a little bit that it's not very like different. Like it has like basically the same premise thing where parts of the team stop the fuck it, spoilers. There's a portal in the sky building Enchantress's weapon that wasn't ever explained what she was doing. Really, it was just kind of dark magic shit. So that's a portal that two of the members blow up, or three of them work together to, three or four of them work together to blow up, while the other one one team member deals with Enchantress herself. So it's kind of like Thor and Hulk deal with Loki, while Cap, Black Widow, and Iron Man deal with the portal in the Avengers. It was kind of the same thing, and just saying that kind of hurts in a way, showing more how DC kind of ripped off Avengers the more I kind of think about it. I don't know if anybody ever actually pulled that similarity together now, like I just did, but so the film wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. That's what to take away from this. And if you're expecting like Joker to be funny and good, he kind of comes off as just kind of there. Doesn't really come off as a Joker. He just comes off as kind of just a gang character. He's not like a mobster that, you know, has like a gimmick like Jack Nicholson, and he's not the anarchist that's trying to push the city to its limits. He's just kind of there. It's like a totally disjointed and random version of the Joker. So that was the rant here, and I think I'm going to call it because now I'm just kind of filling for time, but you know, so that's that. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. So thanks everybody for watching the Mr. Shades show. This was the Bat-Rant on Suicide Squad. Not very bad, but not very good either. Thanks everybody for watching the Mr. Shades show.